Top of the time zone to you, my darling. My name is Nina. Today we're at another build. As per usual, we are going to run over to the area that we're going to be working in today. Today, we're going to attach this build to the build that we did last week. Oh, no, not last week. The 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Which was the antique garden. So if you haven't checked that out, I will flop a little card up on the screen if you want to, because it's a very similar style to what we're going to do today. Because today we're going to build a little neighborhood. And we're going to include 2 villager houses in said neighborhood. Tons of ruined arches, tons of foliage, and I think with that being said, it is time to get our little hard hats on and start building. Alrighty, first things first, you will see me fidget with this cliff so much because I was not sure if I wanted to keep it or not, if I should have like an incline going up onto it and then have like a second tier cliff kind of like enclosing this space, because I wanted this to kind of look like a little courtyard type thing, because that just feels the most like ruiny to me, so that there was like a building before, but now there's only like the walls that are still kind of like keeping the visual of there once being a building. I'm not sure. I'm not making sense. This is the first thing that I'm doing today. I've not even finished my coffee, so you will have to excuse me if this turns into a hot mess as it usually does. But that's okay. You know, that's okay. We're here for the build, not for my blabbers. So I'm just going to keep blabbering. Wonderful. You may also see Callie in the corner thinking, but I ignored her because I was hoping that the thought bubble would transfer over to someone else. But here you can also see me finally making the decision of completely tearing down this cliff. I'm not going to show you everything. Don't you worry. I'm going to cut in a second so that you don't have to watch me tear all of this down. But it was a very painful process because I was sure that I would keep the weeds, and then I decided against it, and I was like, Mom, but I kept them there. I cared for them. I nurtured them. You know, they are my babies at this point. I've kept them this long, and it's only like 2, 3, 4 builds left. I've already started the build that is going to attach to this, to the back, which is going to be a huge build. Holy moly. So get ready for a long video next week. Jesus. Yeah, I thought that I cut out more of it, but I think now the next few clips are going to be very, very short of me just going through like a line, and then that sounds incredibly wrong. Don't do drugs, kid. Thank you. Tearing down a line of cliff, and then we're here, because now I'm building up a little bit, because I knew that this would be behind the first villager house that we're going to place down. So I flopped some cliff in, I rounded off the corner, and then I had to call rescue services because I was trapped there forever to be stuck. And just never get out again, you know, to kind of become one of those tombstones that we placed down. So that was very, very wonderful. But then I decided to flop a house right in front of this because I felt like it was a nice kind of backdrop for it, so that we can pop some trees and like some more decorations onto the cliff that you could see behind the villager house. So that's why I raised a little bit up. But this build is also going to be all over the place because I built this over multiple days and multiple hours in said days as well. Like it was like half an hour here, half an hour there. So we're going to flop a villager house right against like kind of like beachfront, you know, beachfront house, but you get the best of both worlds because you have the beachfront, but you also have like foliage and like ruins, and it's like very cozy, but very open. Like you can step out of your house and you can also flop to the beach, you know, you lay in the sun with sunscreen, kids. That is very important, even in winter. We are approaching winter. It is currently autumn. Is it? Yeah. Yes, it's autumn. Happy autumn. Happy spooky season, my lovelies. I hope you all have your Halloween outfits planned. Please do share in the comments, because I'm always so shocked at how creative people get with them, because I always go basic. I think we've settled, my friend and I. It's something like Halloween Carnival, Kölner Carnival. That's where my friend and I are going to go to. And I think we decided that we wanted to do something like the Nook twins, with like little dresses, because we saw this adorable little costume. And I think we're going to make that work. And it's going to be so cute. The only thing that we need to find is like a proper tail for the Nook twins, because the one that was with that picture was gigantic and like super floofy, and I don't think that you would be able to get around with it properly. That's what she said. So we're gonna flop in some ruined arches, and this is gonna be the kind of the entrance to those ruins. And I'm gonna also line them, or like kind of layer them, I guess, with the medieval building sites, because the ruined arches don't line up perfectly like the castle, is it the castle gates? Yeah, the castle gate. I always want to say the castle arch because everything's called arch except the castle gate. Why is that a thing? Please, why must we name things to confuse people? Why is that a thing that exists? Rude, if you ask me. But yeah, I layered those, but in the end I'm going to exchange them for some regular castle walls because it was a bit too much. It looked a bit too like, you said preppy there, a bit too like proper for ruins. So I'm going to replace them with like normal castle walls, and I think it's going to help it to come together because the castle walls and the ruined arches kind of blend together quite nicely because they don't have like the windows and the roofs, and it just kind of just works a bit better. And we're also going to use a ton of these Stone Henges. For anyone wondering how I'm going to get all these items, I use Treasure Islands, and I also just got myself a modded switch, or a moddable switch. I'm currently modding it. I'm not going to create any content with it. Don't you worry. I'm going to keep my content accessible. I'm just going to play around with it in my free time. So you might see like a modded build on my Instagram every now and again, but I'm not even sure about that. I mainly want to use it for like Treasure Islands to like give myself easy access to items and stuff, and for a very nice project that I have coming up very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled. I feel like I keep saying this every single week, but you know, you gotta keep the people excited. So you gotta keep pushing stuff, right? Take it from a social media pro, right? Like myself. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Anyway, we're going to flop in a ton of trees, and I loved just layering them. I feel like they go very well together, but it was quite tough because I decided to only use hardwood trees on this island, but then mixing them in with some pine trees, some evergreen ashes, some, what are they called? The giant vines in the brown tones. And then obviously I'm going to use a ton of the stone, what are they called? The Stone Henges. Because I feel like they work so well and like so perfectly with the ruined build. And that is me pondering, why did I leave that in? Why did I not cut that out? But yeah, I think also because you can like turn the Stone Henges around quite nicely, and you can, because they are like tall on one side and then they are very like low on the other. I think it works quite well if you like turn them to your needs and adjust them to your needs. They just blend into the build quite nicely, and they also finish off these ruins towards the back because it was quite tough to work with it. Because you will see that I wanted to still have some trees like inside of the courtyard, but it was a bit of a smaller courtyard, so I couldn't really include that many trees inside of it. So I kind of just like left out the walls to the sides and just broke it up with trees. And then I'm going to flop in like the ruined pillar that I have, the ruined decorated pillar to the right, and to the left I had like the Stonehenge, which kind of finishes off quite nicely as well. And then also we are going to have some ruined arches to the back, so that's going to lead you into the next area so that it does feel a bit enclosed. And it will look a bit awkward, but I think I did actually put some decorations behind the ruined arches towards the end of this build, so that, you know, it would look like it's a completed build with like stuff, you know, with something that it leads into. So I think I popped like some wheat fields and stuff behind it so that it doesn't look like an empty hallway of nothingness, which is a bit spooky, but it would fit the season, you know, an empty hallway of nothingness. Maybe I can do with something, maybe we can do something with that on the spooky island that we're currently doing on Twitch. By the way, if you don't follow me on Twitch, you might want to do that because we're currently working on a Christmas spooky season mashup island. So if that's something that floats your boat, definitely make sure to flop yourself over there. We would love to have you join us. We are having so much fun. It's a big fat mess, but that's just what my content has become at this point, I feel like. So, you know, we're embracing it. You know, stay authenticity. That's the key word here. Oh God, I really should have finished my coffee and just given myself another half an hour. So I will just be waffling on now, but that's okay. You know, that is a-okay. Also, I've said before, I say a-okay so often, and I think it's one of those words that people don't actually use. It's like okie dokie. People don't say that, but I say okie dokie in German, and now I also want to say it in English, but I feel like I sound like a doofus when I say it. I sound so stupid when I do that. And like, okie dokie, it's alrightio. Hello. We are flopping in a ton of flowers. I think I might also go in later on and just exchange a couple regular mums with green mums. I did pop in like 2, 3 or so mums here and there, like green ones. But I didn't have enough and the Treasure Island that I did want to use didn't have enough. But once I have my switch modded, I'm just going to go in and like flop in a couple bits and bobs that I didn't really think of, because now I have everything, you know, at hand. Kind of, I can give myself anything I need, which is very, very handy. For anyone wondering, by the way, I will flop in, or I had another link to the Discord server that I use for Treasure Islands in one of my latest videos, but I can also flop one in this description box. If you don't have access to a Treasure Island, there you can get access to one if that is something that you are interested in. But anyway, we are way beyond halfway through this video, and I haven't even asked you how you are. I'm sorry, I am so rude. I hope you all had a wonderful time. We didn't really get to speak next week. Help me, last week, because I only uploaded that little compilation for Twitch, because that was right after I had my boob surgery, and I didn't really know what to do, and I felt a bit, you know, wasn't really feeling any builds, so I just decided to do a little Twitch compilation, because I have been wanting to do that for a long time. So we didn't really get to speak. Like, why do I keep wanting to say next week? What is next week? What does that mean? Is it last week and next week? That would be this week. I don't think I'm okay. I would like some help. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you have slithered yourself into autumn very comfortably, and you're all cozy, and it's time for candles and tea and warm blankets and hoodies. And I am just so beyond ready and excited. I've been streaming in my hoodie, like the big fluffy hoodies, last night on Twitch, and which I might have a discount code for, Nina Tries. If you type that into the website, you might get up to $35, pound or euros off, just saying. And yeah, very, very excited about that kind of stuff. All cozy things are about to come. Also, I cannot wait for Christmas markets. You don't know how much I am excited about Christmas markets, because I haven't been to one in like 2 or 3 years because of all my surgery shit, and I was never able to go. And then we had the Miss Roni, and it never really worked out for me, and I am just ready to get myself some mulled wine, some waffles, and just hang out with my friends in the cold, and it's just going to be a grand old time, and I just cannot wait. And I hope you're all excited for that as well, because I just love it so much. I just love it so much. It's my favorite time of the year, even though I feel like I will be more happy about the warmth now, because now I can dress accordingly, you know, with the boobs done, and I don't feel like I have to hide anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I really, really like it. But we are on to detailing this build, going back to it now, because I have been waffling on for way too long. I am using a shitload of wheat fields and shrubs and flowers to just fill it all in while keeping it still walkable. And I'm also going to include some pumpkins, as I always do. Also very fitting for spooky season, but I don't really care about that. I use them all year round, baby. All year round is pumpkin season, on this island at least. And I mean, this island is set in September, so it would make sense, right? Yes, it would. And we're using the white ones and the green ones, I think. I think we're using both in multiple different growth stages. And I think my favorite pumpkin growth stage is the second, like, but when you have like the 2 little ones on it, or just the one. The one is just very cute. It just looks like, hi, I'm a little pumpkin and I'm sitting here. It's just so cute. I don't know. I don't know. It's, oh my God. Yeah. And I also wanted to have like some ruined pillars here and there, so that it, you know, works quite nicely, and it kind of just ties it all together, and it looks like maybe those were supposed to keep up a ceiling that isn't there anymore. Imagine we had an item that would create like a fake broken up ceiling, or there were like, imagine we had like floating kind of wooden boards or something that you could place in the air, kind of like you can do with the Mario blocks, and they would just float. And if you were to put like a ruined pillar underneath, it would look like they were leading from one ruined pillar to the other. Imagine how cool that would be. Oh my God, I would love that so much. But with this front bit here, I was fidgeting so much because I wasn't sure if I should keep the beach accessible, and I'm going to completely block it off except for one little tile, because I thought maybe we could do something with the beach, so that you will be able to access the beach if you run through one of the flowers, but everything else is going to be completely blocked off, because I wasn't sure, and I could just easily replace the flower with like a shrub or like a piece of fence, because we're also going to be using a ton of these stone fences, like the stone wall kind of thingies, because I feel like they add to this, like they just tie the ruined feeling together quite well. And I've seen so many people do that to like put the stone fence in like multiple different like formations so that it looks like broken down walls. So we're going to line everything with that as well, and we're going to have a ton of those in as well. And they also go quite well with the color of the stone hinges and the stone items in general. So it was just all a very nice mesh of like grays and beiges and browns, and it was just so much fun. And I'm also not sure, like, this is Callie's house, and I haven't speedrun the HHP yet, and I think we should probably do that. But we're going to use Callie's house, and I think it was, whose house was it? Was it Blair's house? I think it was Blair's house. Or Gabby. Was it Gabby? I don't know. But I feel like their houses go quite well together. Like, not really, but like they fit this area. So I'm not even sure if I want to customize them that much. But let me know what you think in the comments below, because I'm a bit torn. I think another one that would have looked brilliant is that one house customization that you can get for your resident rep's house. Like when you have the Japanese house style, but in the white with the like brick at the bottom. I think that would have been perfect if that was an option for the villager houses here. But let me know what you would flop here, because I think I'm just detailing stuff up now. I also decided that I was gonna flop in a car here. I fitted with this too long, and I think I did actually put in a car before I did it for the final thing. Because I don't pre-plan my builds, so I do go through stuff and I don't really show it on camera because I try stuff and it doesn't really work. And if I was to show everything, this video would be 3 hours long, and we don't really need that. Don't really need that. But I felt like the car looked quite nice here. It just added another little oomph to it, you know, because I didn't want to have it too like ruiny. I wanted to have some different elements as well. So that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did, and I'm so happy with it, because it also enabled me to use like some tire items and like some trashy bits, which you know, my heart just belongs with the trash. So that sounds incredibly wrong. Anyway, we are approaching the end of this video, my lovely. I am just flopping in some stuff on top of the cliff here, and then also we're going to be finishing up that cliff that is behind what I'm not sure if it's Blair or Gabby. I'm not even sure if I have Blair on this island. But one of their houses, like the one that is in the ruins, behind that we're also going to flop some stuff in, like some wheat fields and shrubs and some rock items, some trees. This is what we're doing right now. And then I'm going to leave you with a montage of this finished product, my lovely. So if you enjoyed this video, I would very, very much appreciate it if you could hit that little like button and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I post every single Friday, and I'm also live on Twitch Mondays through Thursdays, and then also on Saturdays if you'd like to check that out as well. And if not, I shall see you when I see you. Take care of yourself, my lovely, and bye-bye. I am a little pumpkin and I'm sitting here.